Welcome to this month's episode of Chamber TV. Special guest Scott Raleigh will talk with us about his experience working on Brad Meltzer's Decoded for the History Channel. We'll also visit with Julia Scalacci, a young entrepreneur who's winning awards. Our second annual summer tour kicks off with episode 19, hosted by Joe Porpiglia and Jessica Hibbard.
They are good today. Welcome to episode 19. I'm Jessica Hibbard here with Joe Porpiglia.
Well, welcome. We're at the National Museum of Civil War Medicine. This is the first stop of the second annual summer tour.
Yes, indeed. If you're watching online, you've already found our YouTube channel. You can join the conversation on Twitter by using the Chamber TV hashtag. We're also posting on our Tumblr blog. You can see photos, videos, and other updates online at frederickchamber.tv. And, speaking of Tumblr, I have a prop today, Joe.
Ooh.
We've been enjoying posts from the Historical Society. They have a really cool Tumblr blog, and they also have an exhibit going on about Barbara Fritchie right now, so they posted this flat Fritchie on their blog, and they're encouraging people to take pictures of Babs around Frederick, so we just wanted Barbara Fritchie to have an official appearance on Chamber TV, so there we go.
Impressive.
Yes, indeed.
All right, well then we're ready to move to Positively Frederick, which is the Chamber's community blog. Anyone can submit a story, actually anyone, right? Can submit a story about something good that happened in Frederick County.
This month we did something different, and we submitted our own story. The Chamber's 100th anniversary was last month, and one of our members gave us a very special gift. Roland Glass Studios created a glass reproduction of our original charter. We're in the process of installing it at the Chamber office.
Yeah, you can see a photo of this glass charter by going to positivelyfrederick.org. It is it's really an amazing thing.
It's beautiful.
If you can get to actually the Chamber office, I'd recommend going to see it. It is really beautiful. And if you'd like to see anything else about our centennial that Rick was so proud and told everybody about, you should, I believe you have photos as well?
Yep,
online?
Lots of photos online at frederickchamber.org, and we even posted some on the Chamber TV blog as well.
Fabulous. So if you have any pictures or you want to send something about, again, something positive that happened in Frederick County, please send it along.
Yep, send us an email. We'll post it for you. All right, it's time again for a Frederick factoid. For those of you who like to impress your friends at networking events with local trivia.
So the first part is, if you weren't addressing this to me, were you, when you put this? If you were paying attention in history class, you'll know that our national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key almost 200 years ago, right here in Maryland.
You may also know that Francis Scott Key is buried here in Frederick, but you probably don't know that Francis Scott Key is on Twitter and Facebook.
That is pretty amazing, actually.
From beyond.
Maryland Public Television is marketing the bicentennial of the War of 1812 with a dramatic series about the life of Francis Scott Key, and they're posting lively updates online.
Yes, that's this month's factoid. If you love history, you'll love our first special guest. We'll be back in just a moment to talk with Scott Raleigh.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 19 of Chamber TV. Refreshments for our live studio audience were provided by Dream Dinners in Urbana.
Well, welcome back, and we really are thrilled to introduce our next guest. And unlike you and I, he is a bona fide television personality.
Scott Raleigh is an attorney here in Frederick and is also an investigator on Brad Meltzer's Decoded show on the History Channel. Please give Scott a warm Chamber TV welcome.
Scott, welcome. Tell us a bit about the show, and I'm actually more curious, how did you get involved with the History Channel?
Well, it was really almost by accident and kind of a sort of a Cinderella story. My daughter and I started doing some shows here in Frederick with the Fredericktown Players. In fact, she wanted to try out for the play, so I took her down there when she was 12, and she said, "Dad, you should try out too." And I was like, "I've never been in a play before. I'm a lawyer." But I did, and I got the part, and we started doing some things together. And as she started to get other interests, I kept doing it, started doing it a little more professionally, some dinner theater and some independent films and commercials. And a casting call came through my email. They were looking for a 40-some-year-old male with a law enforcement and military background. And I thought, well, that sounds like me. And so I sent in a picture and a resume, and they called and said, "Would you fly out to L.A. to audition?" And I did, thinking there's a cool story here, just that I auditioned for a History Channel show once.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks later, they called and said, you're it. So it's been quite an adventure ever since.
Awesome. That is a fantastic story. Well, how has the show changed how you look at historic places in Frederick County?
Oh, it's definitely changed that. For the biggest thing for me is I desperately want to do a story here in Frederick.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many interesting things around here, so much history. And basically, the producers have told me, you find the right unsolved mystery in Frederick, and we'll come to Frederick and do it, which would be great for the local economy. It would be great just to bring the show here. So if anybody has any ideas, feel free to email me or say hello in the street. And if it's the right one, we might actually get a Brad Meltzer's Decoded here in Frederick.
Well, or you could just start a really interesting rumor, and then
I think we have
we'll have to debunk it.
a couple of those flying around.
Where should they? Actually, that's a great point for people that are watching this. If they really do have something, is there a place they can email it? Should they just email it right to us?
Yeah, we can put the link on our Chamber TV blog if you'd like.
That would be great, because we literally, although Brad Meltzer's got a notebook filled with ideas, we are interested in hearing what other people have to say, and sometimes it ends up making it on the show.
Awesome.
Most people go to my Facebook page, Scott Raleigh Decoded, on Facebook, and feel free to leave it there if they want, or we'll give you another link. But we'd love to hear what ideas people have.
Yeah, we'll put the link on the Chamber TV blog.
Great. All right. Well, when I did see you were coming, I started watching the show online.
Oh, see, finally, you watched it.
Yeah. and I must say, I'm fascinated by it. I love your role. You're sort of that token skeptic on the show, the one that's going to keep your mind open and have sort of an unbiased opinion one way or the other. How do you think, and we make the transition to what we do here, how do you think that kind of would work or help businesses?
Actually, I think it would help businesses a lot, because one thing you need to do before you make a decision is you need to have all the information. And if you watch the show, you'll notice that sometimes Buddy, who's a very, very close friend of mine, jumps to a conclusion really fast. He hears the first fact and he jumps on it. So if you're making a business decision, you really don't want to do that. You want to make sure you have all the information. You want to make sure you hear from both sides before you make the decision. So really, in a sense, it translates. And one of the things that's helped me as an attorney is being able to do that, to make sure that I get all of the information before I draw a conclusion. So if you translate that into your business life, I think it would be really helpful, and I think it would help you succeed.
Awesome. Great tips. Well, thank you, Scott. You can watch Decoded on the History Channel online at history.com, and we'll also post that link on the Chamber TV blog as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Scott. We are moving right on to the member-to-member spotlight. It's great to save money, but more importantly, it really is important to support local businesses. That's why we love sharing discounts with you all.
Yes, this month we have a couple of coupons from new Chamber members.
Barkbusters is offering a 10% discount on in-home dog training.
And Limelight Staged Homes can help you if you're selling your home or if you want to give one of your rooms a new look. Chamber members receive 25% off a consultation.
People don't realize that's actually extremely important when you're trying to sell a home, to have it looking right, and 25% off. Pretty amazing. Or
even if you just want to be happier in your house now.
Good point. Well, you can find these discounts and many more on the website. Visit frederickchamber.org and click on the red button, that really important red button that says member-to-member coupons.
We'll be right back with our next special guest. Don't change the channel.
Are you interested in supporting Chamber TV? Each month, an episode sponsor will be recognized during this commercial break. To learn more about promoting your company on Chamber TV, call 301-662-0745.
Well, welcome back. The Entrepreneurial Council of Frederick County just had their annual awards dinner. All of the winners have inspiring stories. And we were particularly excited to see some young entrepreneurs recognized this year.
Our next guest was the youngest by far. She's the 7-year-old CEO of a very creative business called Soap Prizes. Please welcome Julia Scalacci. Now, you've brought some soaps for all of us today. They're super cute, so I can tell why they're so popular. So how did you get the idea to start this soap making business?
Well, once I was watching Shark Tank, and then so I decided I wanted to have a business, And so I asked my mom and dad, and then they looked on the internet to see what was good for the family. They thought soap would be good.
All right. Well, it's something you guys can all do together, right? So you are the creative person. You come up with all the colors and stuff. And then what do your mom and dad do?
My mom is the chief pouring officer.
Pouring, okay, because it's hot, right? Yeah.
And then my dad is the chief cutting up.
So he cuts the bars of soap. Awesome. Very cool.
Love the titles. Love the titles. All right, well, you've been in business now for almost a year. I'm sure you've learned a lot. What was the biggest surprise to you as you became a business person?
I didn't really expect that it would be easier to make the soap than sell the soap.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of business people discover that, but it is very surprising, isn't it? But people have been buying your soaps, right? I bought some for my family for Christmas, and they all really liked it. Okay. Well, summer vacation just started, and a lot of kids are probably looking for something fun to do, right? So do you have any tips for kids who might want to start their own company?
Well, pick something fun, and if it's not fun, you might want to do another one.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be doing it for a really long time, like not just summer, and do it for like all year long.
Yeah, so it does have to be something that'll be fun for a while, right? That makes sense.
Well, I looked at your logo here, and I see it's a puppy in a tub. Now, I'm going to make the assumption you really like dogs.
Yeah. And actually, the dog in the logo is actually the dog that we got from the lab rescue.
All right. And you're donating some of the profits to Lab Rescue?
Yes.
How come? Why are you doing that?
Well, it's nice to like give stuff, like give money to a profit, like the Lab Rescue, because you like give. Because you give them.
You're giving something back to the community.
You support them. Support how much they work hard in.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have your puppy if it weren't for the Lab Rescue, right? So if you give them some profits, they can probably help other families find puppies, right? That's really important.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions we have for you. We'll let you get back to making soap. Thanks for coming on the show today. The soaps that Soap Prizes makes they're really terrific. We're going to take some pictures of them and post them on our Chamber TV blog so you can see them up close.
Fabulous. Can we invest in a person? Because I know somebody I'd like to invest in. She's starting at this age.
Well, there's a lot going on at the Chamber. Make sure that you check the calendar on our website. It's frederickchamber.org to see all the upcoming events.
We posted links to all the topics we've discussed today on our website, frederickchamber.tv.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in to our 19th episode, and thank you to the National Museum of Civil War Medicine for hosting us on our summer tour. Let's give them a round.
Well, this show is made possible by the following volunteers and donors.
Sean Morrissey is our announcer.
Kelly Beach is our producer.
Ed Collins is our production assistant.
Most important, catering for our live studio audience was provided by Dream Dinners in Urbana. Give them a hand.
Our live studio audience is also enjoying these fun summer soaps, as I mentioned, from Soap Prizes. So thank you, Julia. We appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone who's here with us today, and thank you for tuning in.
Join us in the live studio audience when we record our next episode, Friday, July 20th at 1 o'clock. Our summer tour continues at Walker's Overlook in Walkersville, and you're welcome to join us. Between now and then, we'll see you around town and online at frederickchamber.tv.
Thank you.